Running through the front pages this Monday, starting off with The Telegraph now, has some detail on the Prime Minister's move to delay that controversial cut to the 45p tax rate after dissent on the backbenchers. The front of the Eye looks at day one of the Tory conference. Their headline, Tory Rebellion Builds Against Defiant PM. The Guardian has more on a potential backbench rebellion after leading MP, former Cabinet Minister, of course, Michael Gove, said the government's tax plan was not conservative. The Metro has a similar headline, Gove, this isn't Tory. Front page of the Daily Mail asks whether the PM is about to make a U-turn on her tax plan. The Times reports on Michael Gove and Grant Shapps' attack on what Mr Shapps has described as tin-eared tax cuts. The Mirror carries claims from one former Cabinet Minister that, in their words, Truss is finished and will be gone within months. The Daily Express trails the Chancellor's speech today as he prepares to defend that not-so-mini budget. Meanwhile, The Sun leads with a plea from former Spice Girl Mel B on protecting victims of domestic abuse. And the Daily Star has claims that burgers might help fight depression. Now, if you want to see any of those front pages again, or in fact, read the stories, then do scan the QR code on your screen. That will take you to the press review.
Let's look at the Monday morning papers, shall we? And it feels like a lot's changing very quickly this morning.
Particularly overnight. I don't know if the front pages are now slightly out of date.
Well, I think this story in the Telegraph kind of was one of those that started the ball rolling. Their front page said that they were expecting last night when they went to press that Liz Truss would delay a vote on that 45p tax cut after a growing revolt among Tory MPs. Well, we're now hearing from Nick Eardley, our political correspondent, just in the last few minutes here on Breakfast, that it might go beyond a delay, that they might be U-turning on it completely.
Yeah, and we will bring you that news the moment that we get it here. Let's have a look at the front page of The Times, shall we? They're talking about pressure on the Prime Minister to reconsider that plan, that same plan we've been talking about. Former Transport Secretary Grant Shapps saying the government should not be making giveaways, big giveaways, to those who need them least.
Yeah, and this is the mood, this is the backdrop, isn't it, against any announcement from the Chancellor in the next hour or so. The Mail instead focusing on what it called a Conservative backlash against Michael Gove's criticism of the mini-budget. The paper saying that Mr Gove used a series of appearances at the party conference yesterday to stoke up anger against the plans. Isn't getting rid of one Prime Minister enough for him, the paper quotes one senior Conservative saying. It really is incredibly divided and divisive within the blue ranks as they start their party conference, isn't it?
Well, let's have a look at the front page of the Express and see whether this, in fact, holds true. They're leading on Mr Kwarteng's vow to stay the course with his economic plan. The paper reports the Chancellor will tell the Conservative Party conference the government has an ironclad commitment to fiscal discipline in an attempt to draw a line under the market turmoil of the last week. And before we just move away from this, I know that Sun has a different story on the front page. Let's just bring you the news that we had from our correspondent, Nick Eardley, just a short time ago. As John mentioned, Chancellor expected to make a statement in the next hour. Expected he'll confirm the government is backing down on its plan to scrap the 45p rate of income tax.
And The Sun, let's just have a look for a bit of variety, shall we? They're leading this morning on their website with the story of Manchester City's third straight derby win. On the back page, victory over Man United, a hat-trick from Erling Haaland and from Phil Foden. Sun reporting Man United was so bad that it was admitted that Ronaldo should stay on the bench to spare his blushes.
Well, I have to say, one person who would have really enjoyed that game yesterday is our mate, the late, great Bill Turnbull, former resident of this sofa. Yeah. Massive Wycombe Wanderers fan. They were the club that were in his heart. Secretly quite like Manchester City too, occasionally. They were his other team.
He didn't say it out loud.
He did once or twice, but yeah, I mean, he loved Wycombe Wanderers. In fact, he did, on occasion, do match commentary for them.
He did, and he loved doing that too. Now, Bill, we all know, died, sadly, of prostate cancer in August at the age of just 66. But now his beloved club has given their own special tribute to him.